Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a detailed step-by-step guide on network management using Wicked, Network Manager, and firewalld in openSUSE Linux. We will cover how to configure both Ethernet and Wi-Fi cards, switch between network management tools, and secure your system using firewalld. This is a full guide packed with real-life examples and practical tips, so make sure you watch till the end. And if you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more openSUSE tutorials. First, let's understand what network management looks like in openSUSE Linux. The system offers two main tools for managing network interfaces. One, Network Manager, ideal for laptops and desktops, especially in environments where the network may change frequently. 2. Wicked, better suited for more stable, complex, or static networks, often seen on servers. By default, openSUSE Linux uses Network Manager, but depending on your needs, you can switch to Wicked, and I will show you how to do that in a moment. Finally, we have firewalld, which manages network security and is installed by default in the latest version of openSUSE, Tumbleweed or Leap. Now let's see how to switch between Network Manager and Wicked. While openSUSE Linux defaults to Network Manager, you may need to switch to Wicked for certain network setups, especially if you are working on a server or in a static environment. Now we have two ways to do that. One, using GUI, and you can go directly to Yoast, enter your root password, and then you look for the network services and network settings, and it will do some checking. Here, see, network is currently handled by Network Manager or completely disabled. Yoast is unable to configure some options, okay, because Network Manager, you can access it from these settings, okay. So here I can do Wicked service, network services disabled, to disable totally the network services on my server, and here to switch to Wicked service. Okay, in Tumbleweed you will see only these two, so you have to go using command line, but on Leap you will see these three options. So if I choose Wicked, it will change my network configuration manager from Network Manager to Wicked. And as I said, I'm a command line man and I prefer command line to see what is going on in the background. So to switch to Wicked, let's say you have a case and you would like to move and change your network configuration from Network Manager to Wicked. So you can do that before doing anything. Sorry, -C for color and A for addresses. So you can take a screenshot or you write down your configuration, and also you can run this command to know about your default gateway, and for your DNS you can check this one, resolve.conf, and you can see here it's the default. The IP of the gateway itself is the DNS that the server using. So this is how to write down your own configuration before switching or changing between network manager software. Okay, so let's clean this. And number one, now I want to switch to Wicked, so I have to disable Network Manager first. So as usual, you guys know the drill. System control status, just to show you Network Manager, and it is up and running. If I run the same towards Wicked, it's disabled. So you guys got the idea. So I can come here and let's say I will stop. If you are doing something and you don't want to be permanent, like you want to switch between network manager and Wicked for few minutes, and you want your server or your machine when it's rebooted back to the original, you can just use stop and start. But if I did like that, disable now, okay, so this will completely disable stop the network manager. And we can do like that, system control, don't forget the sudo, okay. Using and in running two commands on the same time give you the chance, if any error happen in the first command, it will not go and run the second one. So the first one should run successfully first to be able to run the second. That's the meaning here of and. So system control, enable, and now, because let's say I'm trying to stop the network manager and something happen and then Wicked will be started, so better you do something like that. Or you can do it one by one, like disable first the network manager, wait and see that it's completely stopped, then you start Wicked. But don't come here and use these two commands like a script and like that running after each other, okay? Don't do that, it's not recommended with anything else. If you have commands to run on row like this one, after it finished the second one, try to do some kind of bitwise scripting like that, okay? So now I will press enter. Now it is stopping completely the network manager, and now it is starting the Wicked service. Okay, so let's check again the status. Wicked, it's up, and if we check the status of network manager, is completely stopped. Let's check our address. So it seems it's still the same, and like Wicked somehow took the configuration from network manager, but we will come to this later in configuring the Ethernet and Wi-Fi using Wicked and the network manager. But here to show you how to switch between the two services. If we want to go back, we do the same, but like that, okay? Network manager, and here Wicked to stop it. Okay, so we can check network manager is up and running, and let's check the Wicked is completely stopped. What about my network configuration? Still there. So let's move on to the next. Let's look at network manager, the easiest one, which is user friendly and great for systems where the network environment changes frequently, like laptops. You can configure network interfaces via graphical interface or the command line using network manager command line interface. So to do that, GUI has two ways. You can go through YAST, or from your session here networks, you can go and right click, configure network connections, and voila, you have a full access to your network devices, everything, okay? So that is the first way to do that. Or you can go through YAST as I showed before, enter your root password, and then you go to network settings. It's a little bit higher level of administration, and like you configuring the network as root. Network manager doesn't need that because it's able to separate configuration for each user connecting, especially when it comes to Wi-Fi. Ethernet, of course, will be fixed. So that is the GUI way. Let's check the command line. So I want to show the configuration that I have right now. So you can in mcli device ETH0. So we need to see what the name. It's ETH1. Okay. So not understood. Try passing help device. Okay, we forgot this argument. Show. So now I have full information. Why I'm insisting on a command line? Because it's a lifesaver. If you are in the field and you're doing system administration, all this kind of engineering with when it comes to Linux and servers, you only see command line. It's one of the points that in enterprise places they don't use GUI. They don't recommend to use GUI on servers in general, even it's some kind of an audit point. So you have to master command line before anything. GUI makes our life on our PCs and laptops, yeah, our life more easier. But if you are targeting this to be a Linux engineer, Linux system administrator, you have to master the command line and know everything about command line. Okay, so this is how to show your configuration using the command line and the network management command line interface, or to have a better name, command line tool for controlling network manager. Okay, and it exists on all Linux flavors, this command nmcli. Okay, so this is how to show the configuration for your existing Ethernet card. Okay, so let's say you want to connect your Ethernet, I mean like bringing the interface up, and as we said, we have to use sudo for any changes you are going to do for your system. Device and the parameter connect and the name of the Ethernet device. This is how to bring it up, and you will see the difference when we start showing how to use Wicked. It's totally different. So let's clean this. So this one is how to bring the Ethernet interface up. Okay, so let's say you want to assign a static IP to your Ethernet card using the command line. So to do that, sudo nmcli con stands for configuration, mod stands for modification, what ETH0, the type of IP is version 4 dot method, make it manual, IPv4 dot addresses, and the IP address that you want to assign for it. Okay, and don't forget the net mask at the end, and you have to put them between single quotes. Okay, so we can show this as a test here and we can see what will happen. So let's show our configuration, and it seems we need to bring down our Ethernet and up again to get the new, because here it's 137 and I give it 138. So we can do here device and disconnect, and we do connect again. Okay, and let's see our configuration. So now it seems didn't get it yet, but it's actually getting it, but instead of running this command, okay, we changed the configuration for addresses here, this parameter, not the address itself. Okay, so what we need to do is sudo nm cli, and it is good to show this also like an extra. If we press tab, you will get subcommands for nmcli. If I run it without any arguments like that connection, it will show you the existing running connection on your system. If I write general, okay, it will show you the state of everything, and you can notice here Wi-Fi hardware missing because I'm removing it for now, and I will put it back later. And you can run like monitor and see like you want to monitor the services for network manager. Now it's showing is running. If to check if it is sometimes stopped and up again or what is going on, Control C to exit. And networking, it's enabled. Radio for the Wi-Fi, we don't have a Wi-Fi right now. Okay, so to show the changes we add, we have to use this nmcli connection. And if I press tab again, you will see that there are a list of subcommands. If I did show, you have to specify the Ethernet, and here you can see a full list of all the configuration that related for this Ethernet card. Here, just to add one thing, that I had to reboot my machine, and I had to explain this point before moving forward to the next point, that the commands we used, nmcli, the network management command line, that it actually changing the physical IP when you use the command. The previous IP was 138, so it is like saving the IP in addresses list, and once you reboot, it's replacing the existing IP with the new one. So make sure that when you use the command line for network manager, that you put all the configuration needed, means gateway, DNS. So I hope this point is clear now. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's go quickly over configuring Wi-Fi with network manager to end this section. Now I added my Wi-Fi device back to my system using the GUI through the settings, or just to configure your Wi-Fi is straightforward and easy. My main point is to show command line as much as possible, especially for the day-to-day use. Maybe your GUI is your desktop system is not starting your Xorg or WLAN for some reason, and you need command line to access a network or a Wi-Fi, to do something, or to download a package, or uninstall and install something again. Troubleshoot never ends, so you have to learn the skills of command line for everything. nmcli device will show a list of all devices that are connected and disconnected on my system. Okay, here if you want to list, like to make your system to scan the existing hotspot around you, so to see which one you will connect to, Wi-Fi list, and press enter. I don't want to show my hotspots, so you can run that on your PC and it will show you a list of the hotspots around you. It's like a Wi-Fi scanning. Okay, so that is for to scan for the available Wi-Fi network. Now you want to connect, you decided which hotspot and you want to connect to it. So nmcli device Wi-Fi. Yeah, someone will say now we are not using sudo. Yeah, because it's Wi-Fi, not Ethernet. Wi-Fi configuration mostly saved in your local home folder. We don't need to alter or save anything on a root file system. Like we don't need a root access because Wi-Fi it's always changing, so it's separated on your home folder. Also, your system may be accessed by other users, so it is like each one of you has his own Wi-Fi connecting to it, so that's why we don't need to use sudo here. In MCLI device Wi-Fi connect, and here you will put your Wi-Fi SSID, the name of your hotspot, and then the argument password, and then you put your password here and just press enter. So again, NMCLI device Wi-Fi connect to what? To the SSID name, password for argument, same like connect Wi-Fi here, and then your password at the end. Okay, for any reason you want to make the connection permanent, okay, after you connect to the Wi-Fi, you can go here again and let's delete this and for connection, mode for modify, you can write the whole word, and your SSID, and then step, because you already connected. Okay, so you write this connection dot auto connect, yes. So now it will make your Wi-Fi permanent after you connect to it, so it will be like auto connect and permanent. Every time you open your laptop or power on, start up your PC, directly it will connect to the Wi-Fi. You don't need to connect manually. I hope for that point all is clear for doing configuration for our Ethernet and Wi-Fi using Network Manager. And let's move on. Now let's dive into firewalld, which is a powerful tool for managing your network security. It is installed by default in openSUSE lib and tumbleweed, and uses zones to apply different security levels to different network interfaces. And we have to say that firewall in general is a very big topic to speak about in one video or in a few minutes. So I will try as much as possible to give the basics that you can start from using firewalld. Okay, so by default firewalld, as we said, applying different security levels to different network interfaces using the concept of zones. So to understand zone in firewalld, let's say you have public zone for public untrusted networks, and you have home zone for trusted home networks. You can apply different rules to different zones depending on your network environment. Okay, so basic commands to use firewalld. Let's start with this one. Firewalld cmd stands for command line, and let's check the state of the firewall now. Because it's an admin command, it needs the root password, so means every time you need to use firewalld, you have to use sudo. Okay, so it is running. So you want to know what zones you have. Get zones, the default configured zone with, so you have block, DMZ, docker, drop, external, home, internal, nm, network, management, shared, public, trusted, and work. Okay, so you want to know what is the default zone used now. So we can use get default zone. So now we are using public. Okay, so public means it's, as we said, it is not it's untrusted networks, and you always have or try to treat your connections as untrusted to be secure, especially if it is a laptop and you frequently your Wi-Fi changes and you connect to different hotspots. So you should use this one. Let's say for any reason I want to change this default, so all you can do here, set default auto completion for firewall D is perfect. And again, if I press tab 2 times, it will list for me the available zones that I can use, like trusted, work, and okay. So let's say, because as I said, firewall is a big subject, especially the command firewall CMD. So let's say I want to go more deep and to know about the zones, configuring the zones. See, 2 tabs, I have 102 possibilities. If I press yes, so you can start from there, or you can use the manual for firewall CMD, because as you can see, the list is big. Okay, so let's move on. Let's say I want to, okay, let's run this command again in a different way. Firewall CMD list all. It will give you the configuration that you have right now with the used zone, which is the public. So we have that the zone is that's our default zone is public. The services open on my network is Apache, of course, from the videos before, HTTP, HTTPS, SSH, and VNC server. Okay, so I wanted to show an example to add SSH service, so I can log into this machine using SSH. So let's remove it and add it again for you to learn how to remove and add service. The way to remove is very easy. Just remove service equal SSH and make sure to add this parameter permanent. And after you do that, if I checked, SSH is still there. Why? Because it's still using the configuration loaded in the memory. So what you need to do is reload. Oh, so now, yeah, you got it right. Let's say you want to test something with your firewall, but you don't want to make it permanent. Yes, you can do that. Anything that you change on your firewall without the parameter permanent, it will not sustain with reboot or restarting your system. Okay, so I want to add it again. Okay, see, I don't have to write too much. I am lazy when it comes to writing. Add service equal SSH permanent, and don't forget to reload your firewall configuration. Okay, so instead of adding a service, I want also to add a port. We know that HTTP is using 80 as a port. HTTPS is using 432, I think. I don't remember. So let's say, for an example, I want to add a port. So the same, add port equal 80, and the type of protocol is TCP, and don't forget the permanent, and don't forget the reload. So if we list all, we will see that we have ports open here 80. Okay, so that's for firewall CMD. And let's move on to the next point. So we spoke about firewall, and there is one thing left related to security in general, and it's a command line, and we have to mention it in this video. And as I said before, that is a replacement for the command net state, which is the command SS. Okay, it's a command line tool that displays details about the socket statistics on your system. It's a great tool for troubleshooting network issues or simply understanding what is happening on your system. So you can consider it as a short brief, and you can go ahead and check the manuals for the SS by running this command, and you can go through. As you can see, it's another utility to investigate sockets, but this command is a replacement for netstate because netstate now is tagged as obsolete, and just staying in the most of the Linux flavors for compatibility issue. I don't know. If someone knows, please let me know in the comment section. Anyway, so let's say you want to display all open TCP connection, SS space -T. I don't have any TCP open connection on my system. So let's say you want to display detailed information about network connection. You can run this LPN, L for listening, P for ports, and like to show numbering, using numbering instead of characters. So all the connection that we have open is locally mostly. And lastly, you want to know only the listening ports on your system. Most of it, yeah, it's all the listening ports on your system, and you can see many of them are sockets, services. So this is to give you a quick overview of the network status and can help you pinpoint issues quickly. So let's move on for our last point for this video. So lastly, the star of this video, which is understanding network management with Wicked. Wicked gives you precise control over your network configuration. It is scriptable, making it ideal for static environments where you need advanced management options. Let's start with configuring an Ethernet card and Wi-Fi using Wicked. But before that, we still having network management still running on our system. So if we checked this, it's network manager, it's still there, it's still running. So as we showed before, we need to stop this and we enable the Wicked. So let's use sudo system control stop network manager and 1% sudo system control enable now Wicked, and here instead of stop, let's completely disable and now. Okay, and let's hit enter. Let's check the status of network manager. It's stopped. Let's check the status of Wicked service. Okay, it's up and running. So now we can go ahead and talk about configuring Ethernet and Wi-Fi using Wicked. So let's open our terminal and starting with list all the network interfaces on our system using this command IP space A. This will display a list of interfaces like ETH1 for Ethernet and WLAN 0 for Wi-Fi. So if you want to configure Ethernet 1 or to change anything, you can open Yoast. Let's search for it. Yoast. Press enter and enter the root password. And we head to network settings. We'll check the configuration. And we already switched it to Wicked. See here from this tab, global options, because we already used the command line to switch to Wicked service. And here an overview, we have the LAN and we have the Ethernet card. Okay. And we can do the same. As I said, that I prefer command line. It gives you more control and to see what is going on in the background. So like for an example, like you just added a card and you should use this Wicked for interface up and the name of the interface. The interface is already up, but just to show you a case here, and no matching interfaces if up. So no matching interfaces because the interface is already up. You can check the status of this by using this command show ETH1, and we can see that it's already up because it's already up and configured. For permanent configuration using Wicked, you go and edit this file, sudo vi etc sysconfig, okay, network, and ifcf for interface configuration, and the name of the card. Okay, if you want to make permanent for the card configuration, you should edit a file under this path with the name of the card, and we press enter and the file is empty, and we can add these configuration, put protocol equal between single quotes static, okay, and the IP address equal between single quotes, and it will be the same, or the IP that you want to use. The net mask equal here for 24 is the net mask, and the start mode equal auto, and you press escape and save the file, like saving and exit, and then we reload the configuration by using sudo wicked if reload and the name of the card ETH1. Now it will reload the configuration that we did, and we can check the configuration again, and it's still the same. Okay, and you can use also another command to verify your configuration. Yeah, this is the same command, and here A4 stands for address. You can write it A or like that. It will give you the same output. Okay, so let's now talk about the firewall using Wicked. So let's check the status of our Wi-Fi. You use sudo wicked if status and the name of your wireless, and you can see that device unconfigured configured. Okay, so the same, if you want to make the configuration permanent, you should open writing the same file and name it with the name of the card, like that. So for Wi-Fi, like that, boot protocol equal, in this case will be DHCP. Okay, and the start mode equal auto, and for the name of your Wi-Fi, ESSID equal, and between single quote, your Wi-Fi network. Okay, and here for WA, for the security of your Wi-Fi, PSK equal, and between single quote, your password. Okay, and the same, you save your file, and to bring it up, okay, let's write it sudo wicked f up and the card. But here it will not work with me because I didn't put actual name of a Wi-Fi and password. I don't want to share this information online. And if I press enter, it will bring the card up with the configuration. One more thing here, to configure WPA authentication. If using WPA authentication, you should create a file under etc WPA supplicant, and we can see that it has only one file, WPA supplicant.conf, that whereas we will put, we go down here and we write network equal, between curly brackets, okay, and you write SSID equal your Wi-Fi network name and the password for your Wi-Fi, your password, and you save the file and exit. And you can test with by doing ping to check your configuration, and we can say that we cover everything related to network, and we can say that that is a wrap for today. We have covered everything from configuring network interfaces using Wicked, managing dynamic environments with Network Manager, and securing our systems with Firewall daemon. With this comprehensive guide, you should have a strong grasp of network management and openSUSE in general. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more openSUSE tutorials. See you in the next video.